Good afternoon and welcome to City Hydro's Borage Grow-A-Long, day number 13.2. Still my problem child tray here. Some of the pads are looking okay, some of them, yeah, not so much. That's a great thing about growing in pads too, is that I still might be able to sell 4 or 5 of these pads, and some I'll just have to eat or give out for samples and stuff like that to some of my chef friends and clients and stuff. But it could be that I'm able to use a few of these pads, and that's the great thing about growing on these pads is there's 8 of these in the tray, and if 4 of them turn out and 3 of them don't, I can still sell those 3 or 4 that turn out. So that's the beauty of growing with these pads. That's why we came up with the pad idea instead of having an entire tray. Now I can tell you, when I first started growing, I used to use 1 sheet of coconut fiber for the tray, and when I had this happen, I'd be complaining and stuff, and Jana would come in and say, Larry, why don't you cut it into pads? Why don't you cut it into sections? That way, if you have sections that are turning out and sections that aren't, you can sell them. The ones that are turning out and if some other ones are taking a little more time to mature, you can sell parts of that tray versus having to wait for the entire tray to turn out. Smart woman, huh? Smart woman. So this is looking good. I'm going to give it a little bit of a misting back here because there's some seeds there that are a little dry that I'm hoping will turn out. I want to be really careful though when I do this misting, because that's when mold starts to happen. As soon as that mold feels that moisture in the air and that spore hits it, it's going to propagate and you're going to get a mold issue. So I want to be really careful on misting right now, and especially right now. It's summertime and the mold spores in the air is pretty high. It was higher about 3 weeks ago due to the pollen count, and I was reading about that pollen and molds, when the pollen count increases, you can make sure that the mold spores are also increasing at the same time. So we're having a lot of issues with people with mold in their trays, and it was due to the weather and the pollen count. The pollen count this time last year wasn't as high as it is today. So I'm going to tilt the tray a little bit. I got plenty of water down there. Plenty of water. You can actually see it coming up on the screen there. Plenty of water, so I'm not going to give it any water. I'm going to swish it around a little bit, and then I'm going to put my problem child back up on the rack and look at it again tomorrow. I want to show you the other tray again today, just to give you an idea of how much better the other tray is. And it's actually was on the same germination rack, and will be on the same vegetative rack right next door to it. So who knows what I did here. It's Mother Nature. It could have been I didn't water it as well as I should have when I first started out. Could have been a couple variables. But we're going to TLC it, and we're going to get a couple pads out of it. We're not going to lose everything, and plus we get to eat a few sprigs of borage. Who could complain about that? So there we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Is that amazing or what? Bruce, one of our growers up there in where is he? New Jersey or New York? New York sent me a picture of his borage, and he was putting mine to shame. It looks very similar to this. This is amazing. I'm getting an amazing germination rate here, probably 95% germination rate. It just looks amazing. Let's zoom in here a little bit and let you see the tray. Yeah, look at that. Huge difference, huh? Huge difference. Yeah, unbelievable. Yep. So, this tray's going to turn out. This tray's going to look perfect. I'm still going to have that other tray and have a few pads that I can sell out of it. I have a couple of clients that they request, I'm going to water this one later, that request borage in every one of their trays. And I'm always a little ahead of the game so as not to ever run out. So I do have another tray in backup that I'm going to be able to sell out next week to those clients. So anyways, everybody have a great day. Again, this was Borage Problem Child Grow-A-Long number 13.5. I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by. Have a great day and happy growing.